Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Well, today let's talk about fantasy castings. Well, most of the time Hot Wheels fantasy castings are just overlooked by a lot of Hot Wheels collector out there, and a lot of people don't like them. But it is not true for me. Now, I'm not saying every fantasy castings here are absolutely great. You should collect them. There are some fantasy castings out there that look like food, they're like hot dogs and toaster car, the toilet car. Those things are pretty hideous and ugly. I don't like them, especially the dragon car from the Let's Race series. I mean, where the heck do you even sit in that car? It doesn't even look realistic. I mean, as a fantasy car, there are some limitation for me, for it being good. Like, for example, take a look at this Pony Up. This is a fantasy casting from 2004 or 2001. Yep, it's 2001. Look at that, 2001. Man, that's so long time ago now. Really weird to say that, because I grew up with these Hot Wheels when these cars were brand new, so I played a lot with them. One of the cases is this Zodic here. Now you're probably thinking, what's so special about these cars anyway? Why do you even collect them? Well, what I see about this Hot Wheels fantasy casting is they look kind of a bit of real enough, and they are actually designed very properly. Back in the day, before the computer takes over, a lot of Hot Wheels designer like Larry Wood, he created this car. This is the Roger Dodger this is 1970 casting, dude. That's crazy. 1970, he designed this car with a proper drawing, and he draws everything from zero. So he really take his time designing this car to look really cool. And that's the part about car designs in Hot Wheels. Like, for example, like the Pony App that we see before. This is actually inspired by a Mustang. If you could see on the pictures here, you could see that the Pony Up design originally was actually inspired by Ford Mustang. And you can see here on Paradigm Shift, this is a pretty cool car. Got front wheel drive engine with 4-cylinder. That's looking pretty cool, looking very 2000-esque, and I really love it. And you can see the design here is also good. Even some of the cars here, they really got really nice designs on them. So they're not just being a fantasy car for what sake the Hot Wheels wanted them, but they actually carefully designed by people who think that this car would look like. Now, unlike this really weird dinosaur cars, they just like forcing a car to look like a dinosaur instead of, designing a car, which ever gonna be a premium car. Now, I think this car could actually be a potential to a premium car. Even this Diora 2, it's being a premium on the NFT, I think the Teku version. I mean, who doesn't know Hot Wheels ACCELERACERS? I mean, I got 3 of them here. The Hot Wheels ACCELERACERS, I actually play with all of them. Pile Driver and Rolling Thunder. Now this Hot Wheels costs a lot of money, and now collectors just sought after for them because they worth a lot of money. And that's what I hate about this collector. They just go for selling these cars, and for crazy money they bring up the expenses of this car, make it more expensive, because they know a lot of people have nostalgia effects on these cars. I mean, like, I'm watching Hot Wheels ACCELERACERS as a kid back in the day when I was 11 years old, and when I grew up, of course I want to collect more of this, because when we were a kid we couldn't able to afford all of these cars. And those people are playing with your nostalgia and putting crazy amount of money there, because first of all, Hot Wheels don't make them anymore, and the way Hot Wheels actually made them again in a regular, like this one here. This is a regular release. This is a jackhammer. This is a pork chops car from Hot Wheels ACCELERACERS, and this color scheme it looks pretty terrible, but I bought them because I want to customize them to look like this thing, to make them look properly as Hot Wheels ACCELERACERS. Especially now we got real rider tires, gonna look really nice with them. And you know, gonna paint the car myself and make it good. And here's some examples that I made. This is a mod speeder, and if you don't know what mod speeder is, mod speeder actually the only fantasy cars from Hot Wheels that got storylines in them, which is interesting because this called mod speeder, this car started as a wreck car. I forgot what it's called, but it's also have a speeder name in it, and it doesn't look like this. It kind of look like it doesn't have that front end completed. And if you could see on the back glass here on the rear window, you could see on the casting here there is a dog inside of it, and this dog is fully grown. And on the project, I think it's called Project Speeder, and the first car, it was actually, the dog is actually still a cub, it's still a puppy, so that is really cool. And then after that Project Speeder, they moved to a Muscle Speeder, which I don't have, but it looks like this, and it looks like completely restored, and the dog is now grown up. And then after that they do this, the Mod Speeder. The Mod Speeder is more like a cyberpunk modified version of the speeder. It got this crazy wide body, blown engine, and even look at the front there. It's got a really cool intercooler details up front and separated taillights. This looks like a cover car for cyberpunk, honestly. And the dogs is now completely grown up and probably old, and that's just interesting, right? I never seen anything like that on Hot Wheels before. You could you could literally tell a story through a Hot Wheels casting. That's crazy. That's just next level to me. And then we got this. This is now on this thing, I don't really sure if this fantasy castings or not, because it is a Camaro, so it is a real car. But the modification they did to this, I mean, Dwayne Vance designed this, and he completely transformed that Camaro into a cyberpunk car here. It's looking real nice. I mean, that's what's up right now. The cyberpunk stuff is just, you know, going up today. It's the modification scene that's happening right now, so I think a lot of Hot Wheels in the future is gonna be look like that cyberpunk theme. You know, they can't just bring back old modifications like back from the 2000s, because those aren't a thing anymore. So I think they're gonna find a way to make good modifications, even implementing some of the you know, really weird engines. Like this is the Fusion Buster, so it's powered by fusion cells. This is also made by Dwayne Vance, and look at that. When I change the wheels to this is originally a purple car, looked like this, and now it looks like this. And look at that, how it improved the look. I know the paint is terrible. I'm gonna restart the paint, but you know, that's what I'm after. It looks like Metal Maniac's car with a red dot on the wheels. I do still think there are some cars in the Hot Wheels lineup right now with fantasy castings that are actually still pretty good. Yes, Count Muscula. I believe you still can find this stuff on the pegs, maybe in a different color, but I think this thing is pretty good. And it says here it got special features. You could, you know, let's tear them apart. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's looking like a proper muscle car right there. And it says in the box that you could actually pull this thing down. I feel like it's gonna break. Oh, it's not. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at that. That almost looks like an Aston Martin Victor, I think. Looks like an Aston Martin Victor from the front. Why is it my camera doesn't want it? There we go. That looks like Aston Martin Victor from here. Man, look at that. That's pretty nice for newer castings. I mean, this looking pretty cool. I don't know. I don't really know who designed this. Yeah, your Hot Wheels underbody is pretty weak. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. I mean, compared to the older Hot Wheels. A big downgrade. But yeah, the body design still pretty cool. Love it, and especially with some rubber wheels. That's gonna look epic. Punk rod. I think this is pretty cool, pretty awesome. Let's tear it up. Let's tear it apart because I want to customize this as well. Here's the wheel. Newer Hot Wheels are easier to open. Look at that. Oh, okay, this is a plastic part here. And I don't really like the engine being the glass part like that. That's just unfortunate. But I could, you know, I could spray it with paint, make it maybe a little bit chrome, change the wheels because these wheels are just nah. And you know what's cool is you get some external gauges right here, like the old muscle car hood tack. If you know, the older muscle cars have hood tack, tachometer on a hood. This looks like it. This looks really cool. Man, that would look so cool. What do you think? Change the paint into Teku or Metal Maniacs, dude. That is super cool. Yeah, so I think there are some newer Hot Wheel casting, fantasy castings that are pretty good. Not all of them bad though. Just saying, some of them are still pretty tough. Look at this. This thing looks nice. Like this thing. The DAVANCENATOR, this looks great, man. You've got plastic body. What you could ask for more from that? Wait, you could put this? Is this a moving part? I don't know that. It feels flimsy. Look at that. It's very flimsy. It's almost like you could open this thing. But maybe not. Yep, you could put it up like that so it's good on track. And put it down so it's looking great when you display it. That's cool. That's a really cool feature. I never see that before on older Hot Wheels casting. So yeah, look at that. What do you think? Newer Hot Wheels casting, huh? And this thing, Scupa de Fuego, I think this looks great as well. It just needs some better wheels. These wheels, I don't like Hot Wheels doing stuff like this. I mean, they do this to any of their cars right now. Like some modern, you know, like older muscle cars, they do Hot Wheels art cars to them. Like, what is... like, why? Why do you do that? The only cool thing they did right now are the JDM cars. Honestly, I'm just so sick and tired of it. Even the muscle cars right now don't get any love from Hot Wheels. Like, you know, back in the day they could make a really cool flames on it. Really nice paint job. I mean, this is a nice paint job. This is a good flame. This is a really, really nice flame. Look at that. That's a really nice flame. And it got stripes on them. This thing looks cool. Right? This thing looks nice. But some of the newer Hot Wheels, they're like, have colorful wheels. Like this thing have. It's like, what is this supposed to be? It's an exception if it's in the Hot Wheels ACCELERACERS. I mean, Hot Wheels ACCELERACERS are really designed to be like that. Even though they got color wheels, but they are two separate parts. And that's what makes them looks good. And they made a whole movie about it, so can't complain with that. I had a lot of nostalgia with some of these cars, and those cars aren't even, you know, real cars. They are just Hot Wheels cars. And I play with a lot of video games from Hot Wheels as well, like this thing, the Toe Jam in red. You could see them in the Hot Wheels Turbo Racing and PlayStation 1. I played that game. And then you could see this, the Nitro Door Slammer. This is in the Hot Wheels Beat That. I love this thing. This is designed by Jun Imai, and it has that, you know, flipped wheelie bar on the back. You could flip them and make it looks like a complete dragster, and looks really cool. Look at that. The engine, it got twin turbo. You could see the plenum up there. The design is just really well thought out. And this, the roll cage, you could find them in, you know, Hot Wheels Stunt Track Challenge back in the, you know, 2D era Hot Wheels game. And then you could see the Super Modified on the another PlayStation 1 Hot Wheels game that you could shoot weapon with them. Forgot what they called. I think that's Extreme Racing. What is it called? And then this is from Hot Wheels Velocity X. And I just grew up with all of this, man. And that adds another value to these Hot Wheels. And yeah, I think that's about it. I think they are just, you know, a lot of people don't really have any memories with them unless they played the old video games, unless they watch the old shows. And you know, a lot of people likes the real car rather than this. So what do you think, guys? I think Hot Wheels fantasy cars are, especially back in the 2000s, Hot Wheels fantasy cars are just, it's the best era for Hot Wheels fantasy cars. Got Hot Wheels Highway 35, ACCELERACERS. Hot Wheels really enjoying their designs back in the day. And that's about it. That's why I like this Hot Wheels fantasy castings. So yeah, I guess that's it, guys. I think Hot Wheels should go back to its original roots, making fantasy cars, real nice fantasy cars, and return to hot rodding. So thank you, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video, and God bless you.